Hey guys, I'm in Elite Dangerous, and I just wanted to kind of make a follow-up video to the one about Star Citizen that I made a couple hours ago. Kind of clear up my views, rectify them a little bit. I said things that I really kind of don't feel in the fog of aggravation. So I'm just gonna talk more about it, kind of how I really feel, and less about how angry I am, as if that's a bad thing. So, first things first, I want to say that I don't think that anybody working on the Star Citizen project, the game, is bad at their job. That's really not true. I mean, it's just not. It's not true. They're not bad at their jobs. No. Now, I am critical of the game because I expect a lot out of it, given what we've been promised. And I hardly think that it is a bad thing that I follow up on these criticisms of the game, even if we only have a small view of what's to come. And the reason for that is that if we don't criticize and we don't speak up, we may not get a good game in the end. And that is true of any game, not just Star Citizen. If you don't speak up and you don't make yourself heard about your criticisms of the game, or about their coding practices or their design practices, you will never see those improvements implemented, and the game will not improve as a result, and that is a problem. I don't even need to say it. So, when I say that you need a heavy computer to run it, that is true to a degree. The fact that I am running it on low graphical resolution at 800 by 600, which is almost half of what my native resolution is, and I still can't run the game properly, either that means two things. That means my drivers are completely fucked, which they're not. I update them I update them every month. I look for an update every month. And of course it is March 15th, so it's about the middle of the month. So it's not my drivers. Number two, it can just be attributed, it's an alpha, it's not going to be optimized, which is true to a degree. However, again, it is true to a degree. And I think in some ways that is true for Star Citizen, but in others it's too unoptimized to be just the fact that it's an alpha. Now, they are running Unreal Engine 4, as far as I'm aware. It might be 3, but I doubt it. And I work with Unreal Engine 4. That is what I'm making my game in. And I can't fucking dock to save my life. So I know the capabilities and what working with Unreal Engine 4 is like. And it is a very powerful, very useful engine. It's efficient. It's incredibly efficient. But somehow they can't get the hanger module to work properly in alpha, when they haven't even implemented all of the things that Star Citizen is claiming that it's going to do. I don't know about you, but that seems a little weird. It seems a little weird that the game isn't even close to being finished, meaning that there is, in general, very little content, yet the game doesn't function, and it is massive in file size. So you can understand my frustration. It's just weird to me, is all. That an engine that I know very well isn't being the efficient engine that I know it to be. Only with Star Citizen, though. Only with Star Citizen. And that can possibly be attributed to large map sizes or, the amount of graphical fidelity in the game. And, and that makes sense to a degree. However, a lot of that graphical fidelity is lost at, of course, low resolution 800 by 600, and that just, if it still can't function when there is absolutely basically no graphical fidelity whatsoever, compared to modern games at least, then why is it still not functioning? And the only reason I can give for that is that there must be so much bullshit that they've coded in that it can't load it all at once. Like, my computer struggles to load that much information. That's the only explanation for it. Because if it's not the graphics, then it's gotta be what's in the background. So, I'm not so much... And, of course, that's tied into the fact that it's an alpha, it's hardly finished, blah, 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 blah. But, you don't have to do as much optimization if you do it right in the first place. That was one of the lessons that my first programming teacher drilled into us. You don't have to optimize all that much if you just do it right. And a lot of people, and I'm not singling out Star Citizen in this, a lot of programmers in the software industry in general have forgotten this. It is always easier to take an automated tool, go back, and have it fix all the problems for you, instead of just doing it right in the first place. So, yeah, I don't have any qualms really against the Star Citizen devs. I'm positive that they're gonna make the game better, and I just want to say, I don't hate them or the game. I believe the game has a lot of potential to be something incredible, but if they can't make it accessible to everybody, and this ties into not the fact that I can't run it. That has nothing to do with it. It ties mostly into the fact that the game is fucking massive. It's hundreds of gigabytes when it's gonna finish, with patches that are gonna be 15, 20 gigabytes each. That doesn't work for a lot of people. You can't do that. So that's the source of most of my frustrations, is that they're not thinking about the people. At least, they're just straight up not thinking about the people that can't afford fast internet, that can't afford high-end rigs, or even middle high-end rigs, as some of you have pointed out. Although I have no evidence to back up the fact that any medium-end rig could run Star Citizen. Mine certainly can't. And it frustrates me. Simply because, they could make it an enjoyable experience for so many more people, which is what they say they want to do, but words are one thing, actions are another. So, to basically just address the concerns, I don't really think that the Star Citizen team is incompetent or trying to screw you over or whatever. Again, fog of aggravation. That was not my brightest moment. And I believe in Star Citizen being a good game. I believe in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought a ship. I mean, I wouldn't have bought a ship if I didn't think it would have been worth it. That ties into another thing, though. Again, we are paying consumers. When we say something, the developer probably should listen. And a lot of people these days seem to think that that reporting criticisms of a game or reporting bugs is being mean to a developer. And that just doesn't make any kind of sense to me. If I release a game and it's buggy and it doesn't work, and people say this game doesn't fucking work, make it work, I'm not gonna be offended. I'm gonna be embarrassed because I released a broken product, but I'm not gonna be angry. Maybe at myself. But what I need is that criticism so I can go back, fix the problems, and I'm like, okay, does this work now? Does this work for everybody now? Do you have any suggestions? What do you want from this game that you have paid to get to play? And when you start taking those personally, then you have failed. Just straight up, you have failed as a developer, and you have failed as a person. And you should probably reconsider your line of work. This is not singling out the Star Citizen developers. They are no different than any other developer in the software and video game industry. So before anyone tries to get all up in arms about their favorite game being criticized, quote unquote, unfairly, I am not singling out Star Citizen. Star Citizen is just the latest in a long line of, not blunders, but because blunder wouldn't be the right word. They're doing some things right, and they're not doing some things right. I just kind of want to see Star Citizen succeed. And it can't do that if people can't play it or download it. Simple as that. So, like I said, I don't have anything against Star Citizen or the devs. I think it's going to be a good game, once it gets optimized, and but I do think they need to reconsider the size of the game. Maybe have a light edition. I don't know. It doesn't work for a lot of people, least of all me, because I have a lot of shit on my hard drive. I need to find out who's shooting at me. It's an eagle, as usual. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I kind of have to say. For starters, stop getting so offended to everyone who fucking posted a comment. Second, if you're gonna say that I'm wrong for a reason, at least do me a favor and say why. That's just so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh, you're wrong, but I'm not gonna tell you why you're wrong, because that would be a waste of time, even though I don't know who you are, what you stand for, what you think, and how you react to a situation. That doesn't make any sense. You're not gonna sway anyone's opinion, or even make your opinion known, if you refuse to talk about it. If I don't know, that blows my mind more than anything. If you're gonna say why I'm wrong, or if you're gonna say that I'm wrong, at least say why. For me. So that I can at least think about it, and then, decide if you have a point or not. Or if you just don't understand what it's like to be a developer. So, yeah, that's basically everything. I'm gonna end this on an eagle kill. So, Raz out.